My parents backed my cheating brother until I bought their house. I don't know if this makes me an asshole, but I need to get this off my chest because if I don't tell someone, I think I'm going to lose my mind completely. Why younger brother got my fiancée pregnant 3 weeks before our wedding. My parents want me to forgive them both and be the bigger person. I told them to go to hell, and now I'm sitting in a coffee shop 2,000 miles away from everything I used to call home, wondering how the fuck my life became a Jerry Springer episode that I'm 32. Until 4 months ago, I was engaged to Sarah, my girlfriend of 5 years. My brother Mike is 29, and he's always been the golden child. Not subtle favoritism, the kind where my parents might as well have tattooed "Mike is better" on their foreheads and saved everyone the pretense. But I need to back up. You need to understand what growing up in my family was like to grasp why this betrayal didn't just break me. It shattered every foundation I'd spent 3 decades building. Mike could literally do no wrong. I'm not exaggerating. When we were kids, he broke Mom's favorite vase playing football in the house. I was grounded for 2 weeks. I wasn't even home when it happened. I was at the library studying for finals. Didn't matter. You're the older one. You should have stopped him before you left. He'd start fights at school. I'd get lectured about being a better role model. We both brought home straight A's one semester. Mike got a PlayStation, I got a handshake, and keep it up. The math never mattered, but that was my childhood in a nutshell. The excuses were always the same. Mike's younger. He needs more guidance. You're the responsible one. We don't have to worry about you. Mike's just more sensitive. That last one was code for Mike throws tantrums when he doesn't get his way, so we give him everything to avoid the meltdown that I remember being 14 and asking Mom why she never came to my basketball games when she never missed Mike's soccer matches. She looked at me like I'd asked her to solve quantum physics. Well, Mike asked me to come. You never said you wanted me there. I'd stopped asking at age 10. When I got accepted to a decent state university with a partial scholarship, my dad glanced at the acceptance letter and said, Good. That was it. 3 years of busting my ass for a 4.2 GPA, working part-time at a grocery store, captaining the debate team, summarized in one word. Good. Mike decided to go to community college 2 years later. They threw him a graduation party with a banner, a catered dinner, and bought him a used Camry so he wouldn't have to take the bus. Never mind that I'd been biking 10 miles round trip to my job at Target for 3 years because they said they couldn't afford a second car. I moved out the day after my high school graduation. Crashed on a friend's couch for 2 months until the dorms opened. Worked 2 jobs through college, Target during the week, bartending on weekends, while taking a full course load. I graduated with $30,000 in student loans, but also a degree in finance and zero help from Tom and Linda. Mike dropped out of community college after 1 semester. It just wasn't for him, Mom said, like he'd made some profound philosophical discovery instead of failing intro to English because he'd skipped class to play Call of Duty. They applauded his self-awareness. Funded his string of business ideas over the next few years. A food truck that never got past a business plan. A cryptocurrency trading scheme that lost them $8,000. A consulting firm that consisted of Mike designing a logo and never acquiring a single client that I kept my head down. Built a career in financial analysis. Rented a decent 1-bedroom apartment. Paid off my loans by 28. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. Independent. Free from the house where I'd spent 18 years feeling like a ghost. But I still tried with Mike. I call him on weekends. Invite him to dinner. Suggest we grab drinks. He'd either ignore me or turn every conversation into a competition. I got promoted to senior analyst. He'd suddenly have a huge opportunity with a startup. I started dating someone. He'd casually mention he was in a pretty serious relationship with someone I'd never met and who definitely didn't exist if I met Sarah through Mike. Actually, she was friends with one of his revolving door girlfriends. We were all at some birthday party for a mutual acquaintance, and she was standing in the kitchen looking as uncomfortable as I felt. I made a joke about the questionable potato salad. She laughed. We talked for 3 hours. Sarah was everything I'd ever wanted. Smart. She worked in marketing for a tech company. Funny in this dry, sarcastic way that caught you off guard. Kind, genuinely kind, to waiters and baristas and strangers. And beautiful. Dark curly hair, green eyes, this smile that made you forget what you were saying that we started dating. And for the first time in my life, I felt like maybe I'd won something. Like maybe the universe was saying, hey, you took all that shit growing up. Here's your reward. My parents hated her immediately, not overtly. They were too passive-aggressive for that. But the comments started within the first month. She seems confident. Does she always talk that much? Interesting career choice. Is marketing stable? You sure she's not just using you for your money? I made $48,000 a year at the time. Sarah made 62. Mike, though, Mike got really interested in my life for the first time ever. He'd ask about Sarah constantly. What's she like? What does she do for fun? Is she close with her family? Where'd you guys go last weekend? At the time, I was just happy he seemed to care. Looking back, I should have seen it. The way his eyes tracked her when she was in the room. The way he'd laugh too loud at her jokes. The way he'd volunteer to help her grab drinks at family dinners, leaving me at the table with Dad's silent disappointment. Sarah and I moved in together after a year. Got a 2-bedroom place in a decent neighborhood. We'd cook dinner together, watch terrible reality TV, talk about eventually getting a dog. I started thinking about rings, about what our kids might look like, whether they'd have her eyes. I proposed on our 4th anniversary. Nothing fancy, just dinner at home, candles, a speech I'd practiced 17 times in my car. She cried and said yes. And I swear to God, that was the happiest moment of my entire life. That we told my family the next weekend at Sunday dinner that Mom's smile looked like she'd tasted spoiled milk. Oh, how nice. The pause before nice could have fit a truck. Dad grunted. Good luck with that, he muttered, then went back to his meatloaf. Mike congratulated us. Shook my hand, hugged Sarah a little too long. And when he pulled back, there was this look in his eyes. I didn't recognize it then. Now I know it was hunger. The next year was a blur. Sarah and I both got promoted at our jobs. We were saving for the wedding, for a down payment on a house. Working 60-hour weeks. We saw each other less. Fell into bed, exhausted most nights. But I figured that's just what engagement was. Grinding now, so we could have everything later. Sarah started getting distant around month 8. Always on her phone. Texting, smiling, then clicking it off when I walked in. Work stuff, she'd say. She started going out more with her friends. Coming home late smelling like wine and cologne that wasn't mine. But I trusted her. Completely. Stupidly. She started feeling sick about 4 months ago. Nauseous in the mornings. Tired all the time. I thought maybe she had the flu or was stressed from work. Then one night, I remember it was a Tuesday because the garbage trucks woke me up at 6. She started crying at breakfast. I need to tell you something, she whispered. My first thought was cancer. My second was she was leaving me. I didn't even consider the third option. I am pregnant. My heart exploded. Every shitty day at work, every lonely childhood moment, every fight with my parents, it all vanished. I was going to be a dad. We talked about kids. We wanted them eventually. This was just a little sooner than planned, but we could handle it. We could. It's not yours. The kitchen went silent. The refrigerator stopped humming. The clock stopped ticking. I'm pretty sure my heart stopped beating. What? She was sobbing now, words tumbling out so fast I could barely understand them. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. I love you. Please, who? She wouldn't look at me. Sarah. Who? Mike. I think I blacked out for a second. Not literally, but mentally. Like my brain just stopped. Like it looked at that information and said, nope, we're not processing this, and hit the off switch. When I came back, Sarah was still talking, explaining, apologizing. Something about the engagement party. Mike had cornered her, told her she was making a mistake marrying me, that she deserved better, that he could give her everything I couldn't. It wasn't a one-time thing. They'd been sleeping together for 9 months. Fucking. Months that I asked her how many times. She said she didn't know. I asked her if she loved him. She said no. I asked her why she kept fucking him for 9 months if it didn't mean anything. She didn't have an answer for that I told her to get out. She begged. Literally got on her knees. Said it was a mistake, that she loved me, that we could work through this. I stood there staring at the woman I'd planned to marry, wearing the ring I'd saved 6 months to buy, pregnant with my brother's child, and I felt nothing. Not anger. Not sadness. Just this vast, empty nothing. Get out of my apartment. Don't ever contact me again. She left. I sat on the couch until morning. Didn't move. Didn't cry. Just sat there watching the sunrise through the window and thinking about how I'd have to cancel the venue that I call Mike around noon. I don't remember what I said. Just screaming. Lots of screaming. He tried to play it casual at first. It was a drunken mistake, man. It didn't mean anything. Sarah said it's been 9 months. Silence. Mike, 9 months. Look, I don't know what she told you, but how many times? It's not about how many fucking times did you fuck my fiancé. He got defensive then. His voice changed, got colder. Maybe if you'd been a better fiancé, she wouldn't have needed someone else. I hung up, got in my car, drove to his apartment, going 20 over the limit the whole way. I was going to kill him. I was genuinely going to put my hand around his throat and squeeze until my parents were already there that I saw Mom's car in the parking lot and almost kept driving. But I was so full of rage, I didn't care anymore. I went up to his apartment and pounded on the door. Dad opened it, looked at me with that same disappointed expression he'd had my entire life. "We need to talk," he said. Mike was sitting on the couch. Mom was next to him, rubbing his back. He looked up at me with red eyes like he'd been crying. "It's about time he got here," Mom said. "Mike's been devastated." "Devastated? He fucked my fiancé." "Don't use that language with your mother," Dad snapped, and I lost it. 32 years of swallowed anger came pouring out. I told them everything. Every single time, they'd chosen Mike over me. Every birthday where his presents cost 10 times more than mine. Every accomplishment they'd ignored. Every time they'd made me feel like I was invisible in my own family. Mom started crying. We always try to be fair." "Fair? You bought him a car, and I had a bike to work for 3 years. You never asked for help," Dad said. "I shouldn't have had to ask." Mike spoke up then. "Look, I know this is complicated, but Sarah and we fell in love. It wasn't planned. These things just happen." I turned to look at him, really look at him. At 29 years old, he'd never held a job for more than 6 months. He'd never paid his own rent. He'd never accomplished a single thing in his life without Mom and Dad's money propping him up. And he'd taken the one good thing I had. "You're not my brother anymore," I said quietly. "You died. You understand? You're dead to me." Mom gasped. "You don't mean that." "And you too." I looked at my parents. "You can have the son you always wanted, because you don't have me." I walked out. They were yelling after me. Mom crying, Dad shouting something about family. But I just got in my car and drove for 6 hours. Ended up at a state park 2 hours north. Sat in my car in an empty parking lot and finally cried that I called out of work for 2 weeks. Used up all my vacation days and sick leave. I couldn't get out of bed most days. I'd order delivery and eat it cold. I lost 12 pounds. I looked like shit. The messages started immediately. Sarah begging for another chance. Mike alternating between apologies and justifications. "It just happened. You're blowing this out of proportion. I thought you'd be mature about this." My parents demanding I work through this like an adult. I blocked all of them. But they didn't stop that, and why Mother started showing up at my office. The first time, I was walking to my car after a meeting, and there she was, leaning against my driver's door. "We need to talk about this as a family," she said. "There is no family. Don't be dramatic. Mike made a mistake. 9 months isn't a mistake. It's a choice. Get away from my car." She started crying. Made a scene in the parking lot. My coworker Rachel saw the whole thing and asked if I was okay later. I lied and said it was fine. Mom came back 3 more times. Then Dad started leaving voicemails. "You need to man up and handle this. Stop being a child. Mike's your brother. Sarah's carrying your niece or nephew." That word. Niece. Nephew. Like I was supposed to play happy uncle to the walking, breathing evidence of their betrayal. Mike tried to ambush me at my gym. I saw him walking toward me and walked straight back out. Changed gyms the next day. Then the extended family started calling. Aunt Carol, Uncle Jim, cousins I hadn't seen in 5 years. All with the same script. Family is everything. You need to forgive and move on. This is tearing everyone apart. Like I was the one who tore anything. 3 months went by like that. Blocked numbers, changed routines, avoided every place I might run into them. I started therapy. My therapist, her name's Dr. Morrison, told me I was experiencing complicated grief, that I'd lost multiple relationships simultaneously and my brain was trying to process it all at once. And oh shit. Then Sarah sent me a letter. Actual handwritten letter delivered to my apartment. I should got my new address. I don't know. Probably Mom. Inside was an ultrasound photo and a note. "We're having a girl. Due in December. Mike and I have moved in together. We know this is hard for you, but we found real love through this. We hope you can eventually be happy for us and be part of our life. She'd be lucky to have you as an uncle." I stared at that ultrasound for 20 minutes. This tiny blob on the photo that was supposed to be half mine. That should have been half mine that I called Sarah. First time in 3 months, she answered on the second ring. "Hello, don't ever contact me again. Please, just listen. I don't want to be your kid's uncle. I don't want to see you at Christmas. I don't want to pretend this is fine. You and Mike destroyed my life because you couldn't keep your hands off each other for 9 months. You deserve each other. I hung up, blocked her again. Then I called my boss. I need a transfer. Anywhere. I don't care. I just need to get out of this city. He was quiet for a second. The Seattle office is expanding. I could put in a word. Do it. 2 days later, it was approved. I had 2 weeks to pack up my entire life and move 1,800 miles away. My parents found out somehow. Probably Mike told them. They showed up at my apartment at 7 in the morning, pounding on the door. I opened it. Didn't invite them in. You're making a huge mistake, Dad said. The only mistake I made was thinking you were actual parents. Mom started sobbing. You're abandoning your family. You abandoned me 32 years ago. I'm just making it official. This is about Mike's baby, Dad said. You're jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm done. There's a difference. Mom tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked her. You can't just leave. Watch me. I closed the door. Called the police. They arrived 15 minutes later and escorted my parents off the property for violating the restraining order I'd gotten the week before. They were being walked to their car. Mom screamed, "You'll regret this. Family is forever." I watched from my window. Felt nothing. Why cousin Amy helped me pack. She's the only family member who didn't think I was insane for cutting everyone off. She told me Mom and her sister, my Aunt Jean, had gotten into a screaming match at a family dinner. Jean apparently told Mom that she'd been favoring Mike for 30 years and was finally seeing the consequences. Half the family thinks you're right, Amy said, taping up a box of books. The other half thinks you're being dramatic. But the ones who matter get it. What about you? She looked at me. I think Mike's a piece of shit and Sarah's worse. And I think Mom and Dad created this monster and are mad he's acting exactly how they raised him to act. I hugged her. She hugged back. You're gonna do great in Seattle, she said. Fresh start. New life. Yeah, I said, but I didn't believe it yet. The day before I left, Mike posted something on Facebook. I blocked him, but Amy screenshotted it and sent it to me. Some people can't handle seeing others happy. Sarah and I are rising above the hate to focus on our growing family. To those who truly matter, thank you for your support. Love wins. 247 likes. 83 comments of support. I deleted Facebook that night. I loaded everything I owned into a U-Haul. Furniture, clothes, books, kitchen stuff. 32 years of life fit into a 16-foot truck. I drove away at 5 in the morning before anyone could try to stop me. I didn't cry. I was done crying to Seattle's been okay. The job's fine. The apartment's small but decent. I don't know anyone, which is both lonely and freeing. I've gone on a few dates through apps, but nothing serious. The first woman I met asked about my family on date 2, and I told her the truth. She said I had a lot of baggage and never texted back. Fair enough that I'm in therapy twice a week now. Dr. Morrison referred me to someone local. His name's Dr. Patterson, and he specializes in family trauma. We're working through it. Some days are good. I wake up, go to work, hit the gym, cook dinner, watch TV, go to bed. Normal life. Other days I wake up and remember that my brother's playing dad to the kid that should have been mine, and I can't get out of bed. It's been 7 months since everything exploded. Sarah had the baby 3 weeks ago. A girl. Amy told me. I didn't ask, but she thought I should know. They named her Emma. After Sarah's sister. I felt nothing when I heard that. Not sad. Not angry. Just empty. Mike posted a birth announcement on social media. Amy sent me the screenshot, even though I told her I didn't want to know. Welcome to the world, Emma Grace. You're already so loved. Daddy's girl from day one. The photo showed Mike holding this tiny bundle, Sarah lying in the hospital bed, smiling at them. They looked happy, like a real family. My parents commented, "Our beautiful granddaughter. We're so blessed." Red heart, the same parents who told me I was being immature for not forgiving Mike. The same parents who never once asked me how I was doing after everything fell apart. I closed a screenshot. Blocked Amy for 3 days because I was so angry she'd sent it. Then unblocked her and apologized. "I am sorry. I texted. I know you were trying to help. It's okay," she replied. For what it's worth, I think they're all full of shit. Yeah, me too. Last week, I got a letter forwarded from my old address. From a law office. I almost threw it away, thinking it was Mike suing me for the gym incident or something equally stupid. It wasn't. It was from Sarah's parents' attorney. informing me that Sarah's father, who's apparently loaded, something I never knew, had written Mike and Sarah out of his will. The letter stated that due to actions causing irreparable harm to family relationships, neither Sarah nor Mike would receive any inheritance. The letter also included a handwritten note from Sarah's mom. "We're so sorry for what our daughter did to you. You deserve better. We hope you're doing well, wherever you are." I sat in my apartment staring at that note for an hour. IT didn't fix anything. Didn't erase the last 8 months. Didn't make the betrayal hurt less, but it helped, just a little, to know that someone saw what they did, that someone held them accountable. I don't know what happens next. Maybe I'll meet someone new eventually. Maybe I'll stay single. Maybe I'll move back east, or maybe I'll stay in Seattle forever. Maybe I'll reconcile with my parents in 20 years. Or maybe I'll never speak to them again. What I do know is this: I'm not the family scapegoat anymore. I'm not the invisible one. I'm not the one who has to shrink himself to make room for Mike's ego. That I'm just me. And for the first time in 32 years, that feels like enough. Someone asked me last week if I regretted cutting everyone off. If I missed my family that I told them the truth. You can't miss something you never really had. And I meant it.
New stories every day. You know where to find me.